All right, so Matt, we had a fun time talking about dinosaurs. Tell us about another dinosaur, capitalism.
That was the same plot of the same movie.
Well,
Yeah, it was. Oh my god.
it's interesting because there is
Actually,
a bit of a
tell
capitalistic...
Emma while I go feed my fish. I'll be right back.
Okay. So there is like kind of a capitalist vibe to the Santa Claus.
There really is.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, first of all, generally speaking, Santa Claus is there in the capitalist regime because kids like who are of the Christian or Santa Claus faith like need to have presents at Christmas time, and it's really hard for a lot of people around those time of the holidays to get enough money for their kids to have a decent Christmas, and those expectations are really high, and especially when you're a little kid and all you want is the coolest thing you can think of. And for a parent who does not want to disappoint their kid because they love them, it's really hard to get them what they want. And Santa isn't real. You can't just wish for a present and it'll appear, you know? That's the really unfortunate thing about growing up, is that you realize no one's going to answer your wishes. You have to pay for them yourself.
Well, what's interesting about the Santa Claus, though, is it's not just that aspect of it that's got this like capitalist vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Tim Allen's job, or Scott Calvin's job in the movie. He's a businessman that works at a toy company.
Yep.
Like it's all
Doesn't
tied
he at
together.
one point say, why don't we just give these toys away for free? And everybody's like, have you gone insane? Where is your sense of propriety?
I mean, they kick him out of the meeting.
See, I'm gonna have to offer a disclaimer. I will be a man throwing stones in a glass house because I bought this this week, and it's a $50 action figure you have to put together yourself. So I can't criticize any kind of capitalism in this video.
It's okay, guys. Don't worry. I already said Santa's not real, so.
Yeah, this is not for kids.
Look at the Pistons. They're so cool.
We should rate this conversation R-rated just so that no kids are allowed to see that I just said that Santa's not real.
I already tell YouTube that this is not content for children because of all the swearing and all the swearing, really.
Okay, so what are the things that you liked specifically about the Santa Claus, either growing up or generally speaking? What are your favorite parts?
So there is a very good reason why like I have positive emotions about this film. So there's a tradition in my family where every Thanksgiving we watch the Santa Claus the night of Thanksgiving so that we can get into the Christmas spirit. That's
beautiful.
Yeah, so we've been doing that since I was like...
That's nice.
I don't know, like 3-4 years old maybe. So that's why I still like have... Like to me, it's a movie that I enjoy seeing because it reminds me of all of that. But like, I think now it's almost sort of turned into like me like riff tracking the whole thing. But then at the end of it, sometimes going, they did some things right. There's some heart in there. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, you can't just watch any movie at any point in your life after you've seen riff tracks and not riff tracks the movie, even if it's good.
It's true.
You end up riff tracking the movie. But it's so like, you're valid.
Riff-tracking is fun.
It's just
honestly,
the best.
Let's be real.
We're really good at it in our house.
We are. Dude,
I did one
we can't watch any movies.
One amazing one a long time ago, and it was beautiful. Anyways, yes, please continue about the Santa Claus. Any themes that you love? Any character developments?
Well, I would actually say the relationship between Scott and his son Charlie is pretty interesting. There's not many movies I think that are about like the relationship between a divorced father and his son and trying to like
especially
still remain relevant in his life even after his mother or his ex-wife has married someone else.
That's true.
I think it's also the whole like idea of it's kind of clever in a way. Like the whole idea of it is like trying to explain away all the questions kids have about Santa when they ask like, how does he like fit through chimneys that are too small? Oh, well, he just becomes liquid.
Magic.
So
Mr. Fantastic, Santa Claus does basically the same thing. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, totally. Same exact
He
guy.
just changes his density and slips through the walls.
He uses
or the chimney like appears.
Yeah, the
It just
chimney becomes a
appears.
chimney.
The answer is, Timmy, do you, I think he actually, remember like that one girl is asking all these questions. He goes, okay, do you want the presents or not?
He does say that.
Amazing. That was amazing. That
He's
was
like,
a really
just-
good moment.
I don't
And
know
he's
what's
lactose
happening.
intolerant.
Yeah. He's like, well, I can't really eat this.
No.
And then when he comes back, she's
And he's
like,
not
I
lactose
remembered.
intolerant.
And he's like, this is disgusting. Thank you.
But actually, what's kind of cool about that scene too, about both those scenes, is that you actually have some character development there too, because like he's a jackass at the beginning, and then like at the end, he's like the perfect Santa.
Yeah.
He's very sweet with her, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't tell her the truth that he is now not lactose intolerant, because telling her the first time was kind of a dick move, and he should have just drank the milk or pretended to and taken the cookies.
He mocks her too, like
Yeah,
when he goes
like-
up the chimney. I also really like Bernard. Bernard is hilarious.
Bernard is great. I love that
Yes.
actor who plays him. He's very good in 10 Things I Hate About You. And he's in a lot of other stuff, but he's really good actor all the way
He
around.
is, yeah. I think he was in Numbers, right? That TV show.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
He just reminds me of
saw
Rick
Numbers.
Astley because he looks so young, but he's got such a deep voice.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean?
I guess so,
I
yeah.
love
Kind of short, so he looks a lot younger than he is.
I love that dry like wit that he has. Like he's not like clever or anything. Like I mean, he is clever, but like he's not like sarcastic or I mean he is. God damn it, I love him. Just screw it.
It's just I love that moment when he's eating that one like lettuce shred filled pita thing.
The pocket of like lettuce.
Pocket of grass, really. Like I don't know what it is, but he's eating it, and it just kind of makes me feel good. Like,
well, it's also a great
he
part
also
for
gives
Neil. Like, because Neil throughout that movie, I think is hilarious. Like, he's just like this like buffoon of a man. Like,
is he the new boyfriend, the stepdad?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
and he actually, I mean, he has like his own thing where he like tries to connect with Charlie and whatnot. Like,
But isn't he also a dick? And he's like, Santa's not real because Santa didn't. When
He's
did
totally,
you find
like,
out that Santa wasn't real? When he didn't
he
give
doesn't
me my
do it right, but like
tiny whistle.
he does like have these like little funny moments though, like when they're talking about how they figured out Santa isn't real, and his whole reason is because he didn't get a weedy whistle when he was 3 years.
When he was 3 years old.
And I'm like,
And his mom has
I
this
was
cute
3
thing
years
about
old.
mystery date, like that storyline's really cute where she's like, I really wanted to get the board game mystery date. And you understand that there's like a lot of character behind that comment, like mystery date is such a fully packed 2 words. You think about like teenage feminine hormones coming around for the first time and like the promise of marriage or love or something and how,
totally.
she was let down by a man. Like when she wanted a board game that was about the possibility of being let down by a man. Ah!
This episode on Emma can literally apply feminist theory to anything. I mean seriously though, it makes sense. It's
The other thing too with that scene, with her monologue there, the actress kills it.
She's a really good actress. Most moms, like moms in most things, are really, really good actresses. And that's one of the reasons why I don't really like this movie, is because I just want a female lead with no men, like for once.
fair.
Can we give female their due, females
ladies.
their due? Because
Ladies do their thing.
like I'm so tired of men like, his name is Tim Allen.
You could have just stopped after you said
Tim
that.
Allen.
Because like he's one of those people that society has deemed attractive, and
I never understood. No, I don't think. If they have, they're objectively wrong.
no, that's what I mean. Like in Galaxy Quest, he plays the handsome lead character of the show and the movie. And in this movie, like he's supposed to be like most divorced fathers in various movies and stuff, like Night at the Museum with Ben Stiller, an attractive man who couldn't make it work with his wife. Like it's not
Ben
like
Stiller's another one of those guys though, where like people are like he looks good. I'm like, does he though? Does he really?
He looks really good in Zoolander, but that's a whole different story.
He's really, really, really good looking.
I mean, like, that's one of the reasons is that I don't really like the Santa Claus is because Tim Allen is not like a conventionally attractive person in my mind. And that's one of the things that my friend Leo says a lot is that like Channing Tatum and Ryan Gosling are not conventionally attractive for most like women. Like we don't see them as attractive because they are so deemed attractive that they're not attractive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's the hype. I can get that.
Yeah, it's the hype.
I can respect that.
Can we get a Hosier in here, please? Could we get some lesbian representation?
Hosier is not a bad looking dude, I gotta say.
Hosier is a guy.
Is he like, he's the Irish singer-songwriter, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I actually was talking about him yesterday and I couldn't remember his name. So
you
thank you.
Know him? You gotta listen to more of his music, man. You gotta think of yourself as lying in a pasture with sheep grazing around you on the.
I do think of
that on the cliffs of Scotland, listening to this music.
Emma, if you want someone who I think he's a good looking dude, but he's also an amazing musician. He's this everywhere. Like he likes to think of himself as being from everywhere because he's a traveling street musician. His name is Estas Tone.
Okay.
So like Estas is in the Spanish word estas.
Yes.
And then Tone is in Tonne. He plays finger style classical guitar with like elements of like epic
that's beautiful
music and stuff. And
that's
like
beautiful.
And like
Gosh.
flamenco and stuff. The dude like beats the shit out of his guitar when he plays. I think he would. Check out Estas Tone, the Song of the Golden Dragon. It's like his most well-known performance. It's unbelievably good.
Back to Christmas.
Back to Christmas. Back to Christmas.
Oh yeah. Totally.
Speaking of Christmas, Swiss Miss, the hot cocoa recipe. Girl, drop it in the comments. I need to know how your great 9,000-year-old grandmother made this cocoa. Sounds fire. Sounds delicious. Let us know.
I've always wanted to try it too.
Oh, I really, really wish that it was like a real hot cocoa. Yeah. The first time, doesn't he make it for her? And she's like, no thanks. I don't really feel like drinking it. Or something like that. And then later she makes it and it's great. Or I can't remember. I literally don't remember.
You know what I'm discovering in this conversation? I think I have literally only seen the Santa Claus once. And it was when I was in like middle school. So I don't remember any of this.
Now you're experiencing what we will be experiencing during the Mummy.
Yeah. This is a preview of things to come. And also all the characters in the Mummy are like 9,000 years old. So there you go.
So let me just think of like my last few things of what I like about that movie. I'll just rapid fire if I can try.
Sure.
What is it? The elf SWAT team is pretty funny.
The elf SWAT team.
They have like jetpacks.
I remember that.
I love thinking of the elves as like, everybody thinks of the elves as jolly friends who are so happy to work for free all year round. Ha ha ha, for the good boys and girls. But then when you think of them as like clear, like SWAT team, special forces, really all dressed in black with their ears pointing through their beanies or something, or like through their ski masks. Like thinking of that as just a polar opposite, and it's so funny.
Okay.
Like, not to praise the military-industrial complex, but it's a very funny moment.
It's a funny image.
Oh yeah.
But the other thing too I like is there's like these little moments like in North Pole specifically of like little stupid jokes in the background. Like I think they have a ballroom, and if you look through the window, like you can see sort of in the window, it's just balls bouncing around.
Ah!
I think I remember that. Yeah.
That's really funny.
There's one thing I forget if it's from this. I think it's from this movie. Where like Bernard has to go see Scott, and his niece comes to the door, and she wants to know why his ears are all pointy. So he thinks really quick. He's like, "It's because I didn't eat my green vegetables. Do you eat your green vegetables?" And then she just covers her ears. And she goes, "Uncle Scott!" She just runs away crying.
That's the second one.
Really
that's
funny.
Amazing.
That is really funny. Oh my God, Bernard! What a god!
What a
god amongst men, Bernard.
What a god!
Anything else? Oh, two other things. This is it.
Okay.
I really like the the cookie dispenser. Excuse me.
The cookie
I really
dispenser.
love that. I just want one. That'd be amazing.
Have you seen those like cupcake vending machines
I
or those
have.
milkshake
What?
vending machines.
Oh my
Yeah, I haven't
god.
seen the
Okay,
milkshake one, but I've seen
so
the
cupcake vending machines, you select a flavor of cupcake, and then they like it's like a conveyor belt thing. You select what flavor of frosting, and then the machine like spits it out. And then if you want any sprinkles or cookie dust or whatever, and you and then it wraps it into a box, and you get a cupcake.
Yep.
But the milkshake ones, it's like connected to a fridge or a freezer sort of thing, and you take it. It's got like basically the toppings inside, and the ice cream, or the ice. I don't know, but I'm sorry, I'm very bad at explaining this. It's got like a cup inside of the freezer, and you take it out and you put it into the machine. You peel off the top, you put it into the machine, and then you select the options that you want. You select how thick you want the consistency of the milkshake to be, like it adds in the milk and stuff.
Oof.
You add the types of toppings that you want, and if you want whipped cream or something at the end. It is amazing.
That's legit.
Yeah, this is legitness.
That's legit.
That's legitness.
That's legitness.
Oh man. Oh.
Okay, Santa Claus.
So, yeah,
I was like, why do I know that reference? And then the way you said it, Desmond, I'm like, oh yeah.
There was a good 2 or 3 months where the only communication Em and I had was we would just text each other like lines from Vines.
Like
and
you
we
would
just-
text me a Vine, and I'd text you one back, and then you'd text me one, and I'd finish that one, and then you'd text a new one, and I'd text a new one.
Yes.
It just kept going.
It
And then we do
did.
that with the Office references too. It's great.
Oh god.
Like-
So
But
yeah.
finish your thing about the Santa Claus.
Oh well,
Yes.
the only other thing I think I had was
Cookie vending machine.
I could probably think of a few other things, but I can't forget ZZ Top playing in the movie when he's like they're doing the montage of him getting ready, and somehow he grows up, his beard gets like 5 inches longer.
Because
within a
ZZ Top with the beard. I love it.
Yeah, and they're playing like "Gimme All Your Lovin'," and he's like about to get on the sleigh and stuff. So
That's cool.
that sequence is pretty cool.
I love that. That's
Oh,
the
and
kind
also,
of-
sorry, one more thing.
No,
just 'cause
keep
it's
going.
silly.
Do it.
Keep going. Yeah.
There's 2 things. One is like I'd say politically relevant is like when they go to catch Santa Claus in the house, an entire the actual SWAT come to the door with assault rifles, and I think there's a sniper on the roof at one point.
Yes, for
It's
Santa
fucking
Claus.
crazy. And then they literally carry him. They pick him up by the elbows, and there's 2 guys holding him up, walking. It's like, what?
Dramatic purposes.
What?
That's it's the same thing happens in Elf. Why do the police want to arrest Santa so bad?
Because
giving
they
good
hate
stuff.
fun.
He violated all the labor union rules. We gotta take him in, boys.
I mean, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
There's a
Look, guys, there's a lot of human rights abuses going on in the North Pole. I know that they're elves, but
Sign the
seriously,
petition to get Santa arrested. He's doing horrible things to these elves. I feel bad laughing about this because I know it's true everywhere, but it's just a stupid concept.
I think there's say what you will about Family Guy, but I think they have a Christmas episode where Santa is actually a really bad factory worker.
well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
As soon as you said say what you will about Family Guy, I almost said I will.
And you should.
You can say a lot about Family Guy.
Oh my god. Okay,
It's
Des, it is your turn.
I was
Tell
born
us
for this.
about
So,
the Mummy Return.
so let me break it down. So, I for some reason I got in the mood to watch The Mummy a few months ago, and so we watched it. And the first one is genuinely a fantastic movie. I really like it a lot.
It's
just
very good.
It's a fun movie. I love the special effects that they do for Imhotep, the mummy, are still fantastic.
They're
he's really
very
cool.
good.
I like to call it reverse Terminator because he starts off a gooey skeleton and becomes sexy
right.
Arnold Vosloo.
I agree. That is very, very valid. Also,
there are-
that's the movie with the beetles, right? The beetles that go under the
The
skin.
yeah.
scarabs,
Scarab
yes.
beetles.
That was one of my favorite horror moments growing up, and I don't like horror, but I really liked that.
Oh,
I don't know what was
'cause-
wrong with me, but it was great.
So yeah, it's
Where
pretty
they're
subtle.
going under his skin.
Oh
I hated
yeah,
it, and I
Another movie
loved
that
it.
scared the crap out of me
the
as a
part
kid.
the part
Of
where
course.
they
I loved it.
I love the part where like they first open up his sarcophagus, and he's all sticky, and Evie's like
all
he's still,
sticky.
and then Jonathan and Rick say simultaneously juicy. It's like it's, and Lizzo in the back is just like preach. So,
God.
but there are a few
That.
things that I noticed about the movie that I didn't notice the first time around. The first one, Arnold Vosloo is fucking hilarious as Imhotep. There's the part
He's
where
a
he uses his
great
magic
demon.
to make the sandstorm, and the face is making he's smiling, but then you see him just standing in the middle of nowhere making these hilarious faces, and then you realize that that's just a guy wearing almost nothing standing in front of a camera in the middle of nowhere just making weird ass faces, and
With
you're
no
like, what
actual
the hell?
music in the
With no
background.
actual music. Like,
That's
what the hell
movie
is
magic
this?
is what we call that.
So, and okay, so I need to give a couple. So at the end of that movie, Rick, Brendan Fraser, and Evie, Rachel Welsh, I think is her name. They get together, and then Imhotep is sent back to the Shadow Realm, and then everybody
That
lives
makes
happily
such a
ever
great
after.
couple. My gosh, they're so cute together.
Honestly,
oh my
they're
gosh.
okay. Well, so the next movie picks up about, I think it's like 9 years later or so.
They have
And it
kids,
starts
right?
off, they have a kid, and I'm gonna be honest, I think he might be one of the best child actors I've seen in a movie.
How old is he?
Oh, I think the kid is like 11 or 12. Alex in the movie is like, I think he says he's 9. He is wonderful. Like they did really, like, he's supposed to be a combination of Evie and Rick, and he is. Like, he's really smart, he's really intelligent, he's got that like that thirst for danger that Evie has, and that dry wit that Rick has, which I'll get more into later. Like there's a part where and you can also kind of tell that like all of the other actors think that he's adorable, because even like the bad guy characters, you can tell they're having a lot of fun like with him.
I love
like,
it when you can like see that on the screen.
Oh yeah,
So-
good chemistry.
So it picks up with like so it starts off, we're learning about the Scorpion King, right? Who's played by Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, right? Now, here's the thing. He has like no Egyptian accent at all. Like he sounds like a white girl in a Spanish class whenever he has to speak in ancient Egyptian. It's like, what the hell?
A white girl in a Spanish class.
Yes, I took so many Spanish classes in high school. I think Emma can attest to this.
Yeah.
There are she knows what I'm
It's
talking
really
about.
bad in Parkland.
He pronounces all of his R's and all of his hard consonants, and I'm just like, oof, buddy, I love you. But no. And it's great because you start off and like it's all these ancient Egyptian soldiers, but they're Hollywood ancient Egyptian soldiers, so they're just wearing like leather and they have these giant cartoonish like Party City shields. And the Scorpion King has like a giant scorpion like stapled to the front of his shield, and he's wearing a giant fake scorpion as armor, and he's got this big ass hair, and everybody just kind of runs at each other in the desert, and then they're fighting, and they're like, oh, but then they were defeated, and they wandered around till all but the Scorpion King were dead. So he goes, Anubis, you saved my life, and I'll
I
devote
love
myself to you.
Anubis.
And
God,
so
what a
then-
great god.
I know, he's great. And so then a scorpion appears out of nowhere, and he goes, okay, so he eats it. And then Anubis just makes terrible CGI happen. And then there's just an oasis everywhere.
Awesome.
And that oasis becomes the place that they're trying to get to later on in the movie. It's all important, you see. So Anubis goes, here, you can have my awesome werewolf jackal zombie soldiers. They're really cool. But they have a return policy. And so at some point, they all turn to dust. They all Avengers Endgame away. And there's
Return policy.
this movie has a move. All the villains have this one move they'd like to do, and it is this. Because that's what The Rock does when his soul gets taken to the underworld after Anubis is like, okay, contract's up, you have to come back down here. So he's just standing there going like,
They
"Ah," as he gets taken back to the underworld. And then we cut to the present day, and it's Evie and Rick exploring a tomb. And I love it because Rick is like, Brendan Fraser's just like, maybe we should not be here. And Evie's like, nah, it'll be fine. It's okay. I know the last time I was abducted by an undead necromancer.
I remember everything that happened last time. This is nothing
this
like
is
that.
Fine. I know that our son is in the other room, but everything's fine. And so long story short, they're here.
Wait, hang on a second. Sorry, they brought their son into the tomb.
Of course
they brought their
did.
son. No one else, just them two, and then their
Yes.
son. And
This is
great.
how they want to
learn.
raise their
I'm gonna have
child
to-
in the
I'm
imperialism,
gonna have to
in the
seriously
structure of the colonization of
Egypt. Yes.
They want their son to experience that.
So adorable.
firsthand.
Well. So what
Kids
happened?
gotta learn.
Okay. Here's the thing. This movie. So I like to say this, and you will understand this better, Emma, when we do the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure episode.
Okay.
So this movie is an anime, and it indulges in my least favorite anime trope, which is explaining. Lots of explaining.
Everything you say about this movie does not make it sound better. Even the zombie werewolves cannot redeem what you said about this movie.
What about Anubis?
Then it gets,
why do you like it?
Anubis, though.
Anubis is cool, but
well,
that
it
is to
starts
be
off
expected
kinda
of most
shaky.
Egyptian
It starts
movies.
off kind of shaky, but then it just turns hilarious, right? So
Get
then
to the funny bit. I'm patiently waiting, and it's
okay. So what happens? So what happens is, they get invaded by Cockneys. Like these three Cockneys, two Cockneys and this one French guy show up, and they're like, "I'm gonna kill the McConnells." You never actually learn what.
Two Cockneys and a French guy show up, and
the
the bartender says,
"Well, the French guy has this running joke where like he keeps saying this place is cursed, and like at one point the Cockney's like, you keep saying places are cursed. What's your problem?" And then, so they're there because they're there. No, so that's where the Scorpion King's bracelet is. Right, and if you get the Scorpion King's bracelet and you put it on, you become the Scorpion. You inherit control.
You control scorpions.
Scorpions. You can just throw scorpions. Well, they actually open up a door and there's this room full of skulls and also scorpions. Skulls and Scorpions, my favorite band. No,
I'm a Scorpio, so I need to meet somebody named Skull. Is that what you're saying?
I'm an Aries, so yes. You should watch.
I like that was your justification. I'm an Aries, so yes.
If I was any other sign, no. So they take the box. I love it because like Evie takes the box and Rick is like, "It tells us to put it down. We should put it out." She put it down. She was like, "No, we're gonna take it. We're gonna go. It's fine. It's okay." And what happens is, so what happens is like at some point like there's a booby trap and the booby trap causes like
you said
blood.
Trap.
And so then Alex knocks down like the entire rest of the tomb, and so then like they eventually meet up after all the bad guys leave, and the last line that they have is Alex just going, "Mom, Dad, I can explain," and then it just smash cuts to them in England packing up again. Then like Evie and Rick are like they're being all lovey coupley, and I will say, Rachel Weisz, I should actually look up her name, so I don't keep mispronouncing it.
Where is this movie going?
Rachel Weisz and Brandon Fraser are like, they're just kind of like, oh, you know what? We should just, no more stuff. We're just going to be cute and coupley. And they actually have really good chemistry. They play off each other really well. Gotta say, too, Rachel Weisz, one of the great underrated babes of Hollywood. She's
a babe.
Stunning. She's exquisite.
She's a babe. She's gorgeous.
Daniel Craig?
I don't know. I would not be surprised. I don't know. You can look that up, whatever. So what happens is Alex gets he gets the bracelet and he puts it on, and then it just starts a PowerPoint in his in the thing, and he sees the Great Pyramid, but he sees the Great Pyramid like back in time, back when it was like at its height. There's this big ass diamond in there, and so he's like, whoa! And now this is going on while Evie and Rick are up on the landing, and they can't even pay attention to him because they're too busy making out or whatever, right?
Ew! By the way, she is married to Daniel Craig in real life. For those of who don't know,
get it, Danny.
As in me a minute ago, Daniel Craig is the new 007, who is also conventionally, societally attractive, not attractive. So
yes,
bitch.
He's one of those like.
He looks too much like a military man.
He's a grizzled
cigarette. He's a guy who smoked a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah.
He's like a Marlboro man kind of guy.
He's a Marlboro man.
Marlboro.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Des, please keep talking.
So anyway, this is when the first sign of what's to come happens, right? So we already saw the bad guys back in Egypt, right?
Getting like the wrist
cuff.
So
we forgot.
Controlling all the Scorpios.
Well, so they dig up the place where Imhotep died at the end of the first movie, and they can tell that because the scarabs show up again, and they start eating people, and then they send a bunch of guys with
We
flamethrowers in. Now,
love
what I
the
love about it,
scarabs.
so
Ugh,
you can
so good.
identify the people based on the color robes they wear. So the bad guys wear, all of them, even the guy who's from Britain, they all wear black and red robes. Okay, the good guys, they wear just black robes. Okay, so that's how you can tell them apart. And then everybody else, the main characters, they just wear plain old street clothes. So what happens is Jonathan, who is like Evie's like drunk, womanizing idiot brother,
Yes.
he's in the
Forgot about him.
bathtub with like this he's in this room like fooling around with the lady of the night.
He's in the bathtub with the wench.
Well, and
When
so
the
what should
fighting
happen?
broke out.
What should happen? But the bad guys break in, right? And they just walk into the house, and they're like, are you Rick? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sure what's going on. And so like they're threatening him and all that stuff. And then at some point they realize that Alex actually has. I'm trying to make sense of it. This is one of the densest movies I've seen in a while, right? So
The Mummy Returns.
The Mummy Returns. It is.
This is my thought exactly.
I no,
What is
seriously,
going on?
this movie needed like a couple editors. It is so hard to summarize. So
How
like
long is it?
Why do you
2 hours.
That's it?
So,
2 hours?
but there's a few characters that I love. So if you remember in the first movie, the big conflict was Imhotep comes back and he sees Evie and he goes, oh, "You're my girlfriend from back in the day." And she's like, "I am not. What the hell are you talking about?" He's like, "Oh no, you totally are. You totally are." Well, turns out, of course she's not. They found another lady, and she's actually his girlfriend from back in the day.
Was she the Cleopatra-looking style girl?
Yeah,
And the reason why he got cursed forever is because he kissed her, and she had the body paint on, so that her father could tell if anybody touched her.
Yes.
And there was like a
they
smear on her
retcon
shoulder.
it in this movie, so it wasn't just that. It's also because when the king found out, they Julius Caesared him. They stabbed the shit out of him. So of course that's what happens. It's also one of those movies where like all the ancient Egyptians wear almost nothing. So like there's a part. Well, so
and
they
they're
actually
all
retcon it.
white.
They're all white. No, they're not white. Some of them have spray
Egypt
tans.
is in Africa, but it's not African. It's
Okay.
European.
I summed up my thoughts on this when with Matt a while ago. Do you remember there's that episode of Fresh Prince where with Queen Latifah where Queen Latifah's character is saying that her favorite movie is Casablanca. So Queen Latifah is saying that her favorite movie is Casablanca, and Will's like, "Oh please, that movie here you got a movie. Whole thing takes place in Africa. Only one brother in the whole thing, and he's from Detroit." And it's like. And I'm like, that's this freaking movie. Like the darkest person in the movie is, the darkest person in the movie is one of the bad guys. And honestly, he's one of my favorite characters. He is just this big, fun-loving guy. Always has a shit-eating grin on his face. And like,
I love a good shit-eating grin. There's nothing better.
What happens is, so the bad guys walk in, and now they're all fighting and stuff. Well, then who should walk in but another one of the good guys? And I'm like, people, do you not know about door locks? Like, there's like 20 people just walked into your freaking house. First it was your brother, then it was the bad guys who apparently followed them all the way from Egypt. They just never freaking noticed. And then there's the good guy who followed them from Egypt and apparently nobody freaking noticed. And so then you're like, okay, hold up a second. What the hell's going on? So they end up kidnapping Evie, and they're like, oh God, no. So then they have this fun chase where like, so then they go and they bring Imhotep back to life, and he's still kind of sticky. And he goes, "You know what, guys? I'm gonna summon some undead warriors to help us fight the." Will
they be sticky too?
No, they're more dry, and they look like Power Rangers villains. It's pretty great. And
so
then
sad. I want my enemies to be sticky.
Well, and
that's how you know.
And so then what happens is,
that's how you know they're your real enemy. They're sticky.
They're sticky folk.
Well, the big thing that happens is so the good guy in the black robe, who's really cool. I forgot his name, but he's cool. He notices that there's this really elaborate, cool tattoo on Brendan Fraser's arm, and so he says this like code phrase, and then Brendan Fraser looks at him and he says the countersign, and it goes, "Oh, you are a magi. You're a Jedi. I don't know. He says something that sounds a lot like Jedi, essentially, right? And so, long story short, they wind up getting Evie back, but they end up catching Alex because Alex has the friggin' bracelet. They're like, oh shit, Alex has the bracelet. We need Alex. So the bad guys have Alex. They got to go save Alex, and so they wind up following them over to Egypt. And there's this really great part where like they're on the train, and like, so the whole thing is they're trying to get the bracelet, and they're trying to like stop everybody. It's a MacGuffin, right? The whole thing, it's just a friggin' MacGuffin. And
what do you like about this movie?
Here's what I like about this movie: everyone is on a strict diet of ham and cheese. Like everyone is having so much goddamn fun. The guy who's the curator of the British Museum is clearly a white guy putting on like a Middle Eastern accent. My dude is rolling his R's so hard that they're freaking like Cinnabons. Like, oh my God. Seriously. This dude, like, he's like, where is the bracelet? I want to know where the bracelet is. Like, it's like, what is this happening? You got the big black guy who is like he's walking around like bare chested the whole time. Like he's all big and stuff, and he's like, oh, I'm so evil. Oh, and then you've got the lady who's supposed to be his girlfriend, and like at some point, like they have this like, there's this ritual where like they have to like she's like, okay, so you do look exactly like her, but you're not actually her. So we're gonna bring back her spirit and put it in your body. And she's like, that really turns me on. And I'm like, what the hell am I watching?
I like that part.
It's hilarious because what you see is throughout the whole movie, Evie has been hallucinating that she's back in ancient times because it turns out she's actually not his girlfriend. She's the son of the pharaoh that Imhotep and his girlfriend murdered. And so she's the reincarnation of Nefertiti, who was white. Remember that white person, Nefertiti, one of those Egyptian people. Yeah, she was white. And
Goodness
so
gracious.
like they have this scantily clad fight scene where like
as they often do in movies.
But what I love is that like it cuts between them in the real world pantomiming stuff and them in the dream doing stuff, and they're always overacting. They're always like there's so much of this happening. They're like, ah, and like
there's been less than a minute.
Okay, hang on. All right. Anyway, and then what